Greetings to the Commander-in-Chief of the EFF, Julius Sello Malema, fellow fighters, and progressive forces across our continent and the world. Before we speak about appropriations, strategic plans, key performance indicators, and budget allocations, we must speak about blood. The blood of unemployed youth Mlazi, of mine workers in Tabazimbi, of Nasipi Dukwa and her 9-month-old baby, of children who died of hunger in the Eastern Cape, and the blood of black people whose labor built this country and whose suffering continues to sustain it. South Africa is a nation built on black blood. Blood land, blood labor, blood minerals, blood wealth, blood profits, and a blood government. This debate follows the tragic killing of 18-year-old Nhlamulo Sambo, whom according to his mother and sister was allegedly slaughtered like an animal for being Tsonga. The Western Cape police have stated contrary to this. But the fact remains, we're a country living in anxiety, searching for someone to blame for our realities. Poverty, hopelessness, and hatred have become the language of the oppressed. You and Leon Schreiber are caught in slumber while shacks are going up in flames. Step in and ensure that the Sambo family receives the truth about what happened to their son, that justice is served, and that the order is restored in our streets. You do not deserve to be on a political vacation whilst the failures of your government haunt our nation, Mr. President. Our people must know that we are in this situation because the president is sleeping on the jaw, only concerned about protecting himself from impeachment and jail. We extend our deepest condolences to the Sambo family, but condolences are not enough, Mr. President. Nhlamulo did not die in isolation. He died in a South Africa where poor people are taught to fear other poor people, whilst the architects of inequality continue to enjoy the fruits of exploitation. He died in a South Africa where unemployment, poverty, and desperation have become so normal that violence is mistaken for justice. We hope you have a few dollars to spare from your couches to bury Nhlamulo and numerous victims of violent crimes rooted in poverty, racism, misogyny, and blatant disregard for human life. We demand to see you deal with crime against ordinary South Africans with the same speed you sent out our police to go look for your undeclared stolen dollars without even opening a criminal case. Your presidency is a presidency of press statements and investment conferences, commissions, task teams.
Take your seat, please. There's a point of order. Yes, Honorable Member.
No, thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I'm rising on Rule 85. The Honorable Member is casting aspersion to the President. She says the President has got undeclared stolen dollars.
It's true. It's true.
Honorable,
It's true.
order, order, honorable members, order. Honorable members, this matter is in front of a committee of Parliament that must still deal with the issue. It's also in front of the court that must still look at whatever has been brought to them. Nobody can thus come to a conclusion. You cannot come to a conclusion and state it as a fact. And because of that reason, I will ask the honorable member to withdraw that statement. It's allegations that we are dealing with, and it's not a factual statement until it is proven or otherwise. You must withdraw the statement, honorable member.
I withdraw. Your presidency is a presidency of press statements and investment conferences.
Honorable member.
I said I withdraw, Speaker.
Thank you.
Your presidency is a presidency of press statements and investment conferences, commissions and task teams, promises without transformation. Most importantly, it is a presidency that is premised on continued flow of blood. The blood of workers whose labor enriches shareholders, the blood of communities displaced by mining, the blood of unemployed graduates denied economic opportunities. Your presidency is built upon the preservation of economic apartheid, and therefore it is a presidency built upon blood. South Africa remains one of the most unequal countries in the world. Stats SA tells us that expanded youth employment remains above 40%. Millions wake up every day without work and without hope. Even those who are employed are not spared from the Ramaphosa economy. The cost of living continues to rise while salaries don't rise. And more than 18 million people depend on social grants simply to survive. Yet we are expected to celebrate economic reforms and investment conferences with blood capitalists like BlackRock. We are expected to celebrate growth of barely 1%. I ask you, Mr. President, growth for who? Growth for who, Ntate Ramaphosa? Why must we celebrate a growth that means nothing to a graduate at home, to a mother unable to feed her children, to communities without water? Why applaud a growth that doesn't address ownership patterns of the economy? You boast about Operation Vulindlela, but Operation Vulindlela seeks to reform capitalism rather than eliminate it. It seeks to attract investment without addressing ownership. It seeks to solve problems created by capitalism through more capitalism. You are literally asking fire to extinguish itself. The land was stolen through blood. The mines were built through blood. The economy was constructed through blood. The gold of Johannesburg came from blood. The diamonds of Kimberley came from blood. The platinum of Rustenburg came from blood. The fortunes accumulated in boardrooms and gated estates come from blood. Yet the descendants of those whose labor produced this wealth continue to live in poverty. The top layers of society continue to own majority of wealth, while black majority remains excluded from meaningful ownership of the economy. This is not an accident. This is structural. This is capitalism. It's imperialism. This is exactly how the system was designed to function. President Ramaphosa, history will not judge you by the number of speeches you delivered or by the number of investment summits you hosted and the number of commissions you established. History will judge you by whether the blood stopped flowing. The blood of Marikana, of hungry children, of unemployed youth, of our children in the Cape Flats, the blood of every South African that was sacrificed so their profits may continue uninterrupted. And blood remembers, President. Blood remembers stolen land, stolen labor, stolen dignity. Blood remembers betrayal. That is why we refuse to make peace with exploitation. We reject the notion that the market will liberate our people, that foreign capital will save us. Poverty cannot be managed indefinitely. We demand the expropriation of land without compensation, state ownership of strategic mineral resources, a state bank and a developmental state that is capable of industrialization and job creation. We know our problems and we know the solutions. The enemy is not a Tsonga-speaking child. The enemy is exploitation and imperialism. The enemy is a system that allows a handful to own everything while millions own nothing. As long as the land remains stolen, our struggle continues. As long as wealth remains concentrated in the hands of a few, our struggle continues. As long as children go hungry in a country that is rich in resources, our struggle continues. As long as Africans are taught to hate one another while capital continues to profit, our struggle continues. Our people deserve justice and not patience. And we reject this vote. Economic freedom remains unfinished business in our liberation. We reject this vote because we reject you, Mr. President.
The next speaker